this is your first day. Everything's going to be all right. But I do hope nothing goes wrong. Let's see, is the table all set? The cream and sugar go at this end, Annie.
I thought in the center, ma'am, everyone should reach them easier.
Mr. Gay says here.
I didn't know where to place the napkins, ma'am.
Well, you can tell where the napkins go by the rings. This one is Whitney's. It has his initial on it, W. This one with a little dog on it is Harlan's. Of course, he's the baby. This J is for John. This C is for Clarence. He sits here. This plain one is mine. And this one is Mr. Day's. It's just like mine, except it got bent one morning. And that reminds me, Annie, always be sure Mr. Day's coffee is piping hot.
Ah, your man has coffee instead of tea in the morning.
Well, we all have coffee, except for the two youngest boys, and they always have their milk. And Annie, always speak of my husband as Mr. Day.
I will that.
Yes, ma'am, Annie.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, if Mr. Day should speak to you, just say yes, sir. Now, don't be nervous. You'll get used to him.
Good morning, Mother.
Good morning, Clarence.
Did you sleep well?
Yes, dear.
Good.
And we all start with fruit in the morning, except for the two youngest boys, and they have their porridge.
Jiminy, another wreck on the New Haven. That always upsets the stock market. Father won't like that.
I do wish that New Haven would stop having wreck, if they only knew how it upset your father. Mercy, Clarence, what happened to your coat?
It's all right. Margaret mended it for me.
Oh, that looks terrible. Why don't you put on your other one?
That looks worse than this one. Remember? I burnt that hole in it.
Well, you can't go around looking like that. Oh, dear, I'll have to speak to your father.
Morning, Mother.
Good morning, John.
Who won?
I don't know. I haven't looked yet.
Well, let me see.
Be careful.
Boys, don't wrinkle that paper before your fathers look at it.
Yeah.
Andy, let's get things started. We want everything to be ready when Mr. Day comes down. Clarence, right after breakfast, I'd like for you and John to move that small dresser from my room into yours.
Is someone coming to visit?
Who's coming?
I haven't said anyone was coming. And don't you say anything about it either. I want it to be a surprise.
Oh, Father doesn't know yet.
No, and I better speak to him about a new suit of clothes for you before he finds out he's being surprised by visitors.
Good morning, Mother.
Good morning, dear.
Who won? The Giants. 7-3. Buck Ewing hit a home run. Let me see.
Good morning, Mother. Good morning, darling. How's the finger? That's a sign it's getting better. Now don't scratch it. Sit down, boys. Give me your chair, darling. Annie, watch Mr. Day, and just as soon as he's finished with his fruit.
Benny! Benny!
What's the matter, Claire?
Where's my necktie?
Which necktie?
The one I gave you yesterday.
Oh, it isn't pressed yet. I forgot to give it to Margaret.
I told you distinctly I wanted to wear that tie today.
You have plenty of neckties here. Put on another one and come down to breakfast right away.
Oh, damnation!
Whitney, wait for your father.
But I'm in a hurry. John, I'm already baseball today. I'm going to pitch. If I don't play myself. Look, if you need it, we're playing at the corner of 57th Street.
Way up there?
They're building a house on a big lot of 50th.
Oh, my. Here we moved to 48th Street to get out of the city.
Well, can I start breakfast, Mother? I promised to get there by 8 o'clock.
Whitney, you know after breakfast you have to study our catechism. morning, dear.
Good night.
Yes.
Sit down, boys.
Annie, that's the doorbell. My, Claire, that new suit looks very nice.
Too damn tight. What's the matter with those fellows in London? I wrote them over a year ago. They were making my clothes too tight.
You have put on a little weight, dear.
I weigh just the same as I always have. The mail goes to me.
Clarence has just managed to ruin the only suit of clothes he has.
Here's one for you, Vinny. John, pass that to you over.
Claire, dear, I'm afraid Clarence is going to need a new suit of clothes.
Clarence has to learn not to be so hard on his clothes. Father, when you start college in the fall, I will set aside $1,000 just to outfit you, Clarence, but you'll get no new clothes this summer.
Can I have one of your old suits made over to fit me?
Every one of my suits still has plenty of wear in it. I wear my clothes until they're worn out.
Well, if you want your clothes worn out, Clarence can wear them out much faster than you.
Yes. And you don't get a chance to wear them out. Every time you get a new batch of clothes, Mother sends the old ones to the missionary girl. I guess I'm as good as any old missionary.
Clarence, before you compare yourself to a missionary, remember the sacrifices they made.
Oh, I don't know, Vinny. I think my clothes would look better on Clarence than on some Hottentot. Clarence, have that black suit of mine made over to fit you before your mother gets her hands on it.
Thank you, sir. Gee, what a father's suit. Thank you, sir.
Whitney, don't eat so fast.
But I'm in a hurry. I'm going to fish today. But before I go, I have to spend my catechism.
What do you bother with that for?
Well, if he doesn't know his catechism, he can't be confirmed.
I'm going to fish today.
Vinny, Whitney's going to pitch today, and he can be confirmed any old time.
Claire, it seems to me that sometimes you don't care if your children get to heaven or not.
Whitney will get to heaven all right. I'll be there before you, Whitney. I'll see you get in.
And what makes you so sure they'll let you in?
Well, if they don't, I'll certainly make a devil of a row.
Claire, dear, I do hope you'll behave yourself when you get to heaven.
Vinny, how many times must I tell you not to engage a maid who doesn't even know how to serve properly?
Claire, can't you see she's new and she's doing her best?
How can I serve myself when she's holding a platter up over my head?
Annie, hold it a little lower.
Who is she anyway? Well, I came in the one we had yesterday. I don't see why you can't keep a maid.
Oh, you don't.
All I want is service. Whitney, when we get to heaven, we'll organize a baseball team of our own.
Claire, it would be just like you to try to run things in heaven.
From all I've heard about heaven, it seems a very unbusinesslike place. You could probably use a good businessman like me.
What are you sounding for Margaret for? What's the matter?
What is that damn noise?
Shh, it's Annie.
Annie? Who's Annie?
The maid. Oh, Claire, aren't you ashamed of yourself?
What have I done now?
You made her cry speaking to her the way you did.
I never said a word to her. I was addressing myself to you.
Oh, Claire, I do wish you'd behave yourself. It's hard enough to keep a maid, and the uniforms just fit this one. What's wanting?
Margaret, this bacon is good. It's good. It's done just right.
Yes, sir. Claire, this letter gives me a good idea. I'm not going to give a series of dinners this winter.
I should hope not.
I'm going to give a big musical instead.
You'll give a what?
A musical.
Finny, I will not have my peaceful home transformed into a Roman arena with a lot of hairy fiddlers prancing about.
I didn't say a word about hairy fiddlers. Mrs. Spiller writes me that she knows this lovely young girl who will come for very little.
What instrument does this inexpensive paragon play?
She doesn't play, she whistles.
Whistles.
Yes, she whistles 16 different pieces, all for $25.
Finny, I will not pay $25 for a human peanut stand.
Claire, I think I have this figured so this won't cost you a penny. If I invite 50 guests and charge them 50 cents a piece, then there's your $25.
You can't ask people to your own house and then charge them admission.
Oh, I can't, it's for the missionary fund.
Then where are you going to get the $25 for the whistling?
Well, we'll just cross that bridge when we come to it.
And when we come to it, it will cost me $25. Vinny, I'm going to be firm about this musicale, just as I've always had to be firm about keeping the house full of visiting relatives. Why can't we live here by ourselves in peace and comfort?
What's wanting?
Margaret, what is this?
It's coffee, sir.
It is not coffee. You cannot take water and coffee beans and arrive at this. It's slops. That's what it is. Slops. Well, that's healing nicely. Now don't pick that scab or it'll leave a scar, and we don't want scars on our fingers, do we? I guess next time you'll know that cats don't like to be hugged. It's alright to stroke them, but don't squeeze them. Now go back and finish your oatmeal. Go back and eat it, it's good for you. I'll tell you what you like and what you don't like. You're not old enough to know about such things. You've no business not to like oatmeal, it's good. That's enough, we won't discuss it. Finish that oatmeal at once.
I finished my oatmeal. May I go now?
Yes, you may go. It's a good game.
Whitney?
I'm going upstairs to study my catechism.
That's fine, dear. Run along.
Harlan, you better hurry up and finish your oatmeal if you want to come with me.
I don't know why I'm always getting damn fool letters like this.
What is it, Claire?
Dear friend Dick, we are assigning you the exclusive rights to Staten Island so you may make a house-to-house canvas selling the gem home popper for popcorn.
I think that's for me, Father.
Then why didn't they address it to Clarence Day Jr.? Oh, they did. I'm sorry, Clarence. I didn't mean to open your mail.
Clarence, I don't think I would get mixed up with something like that. People like popcorn, but they won't go all the way to Staten Island to buy it.
Chauncey Depue's having another birthday.
Oh, how nice.
He's always having birthdays, 2 or 3 a year. Damn! Another wreck on the New Haven.
Oh, that reminds me. Mrs. Bailey dropped by last evening.
Was she in the wreck?
No, she was born in New Haven. Clarence, you're having tea Thursday afternoon with Edith Bailey.
Mother, do I have to?
I like coffee, I like tea, I like the girls, and the girls like me.
Well, they don't like me, and I don't like them.
Edith Bailey's a very nice girl, isn't she, Claire?
Edith Bailey. Don't like her. I don't blame Clarence.
Boys, you go upstairs and take care of that little item I asked you to take care of.
You said small bureau, Mother?
Run along.
If you please, ma'am, there's a package been delivered to the Dollar One. Is the kitchen nice?
Oh, the knives from Lewis and Converse, yes. Here, Margaret, give the dollar to the man.
Make a note of that, Vinny. $1 and whatever it was for.
Claire, dear, I'm afraid I'm going to need some more money.
More money? What for?
Well, you were complaining about the coffee this morning, and well, you know that nice imported coffee pot got broken, and you know how it got broken.
Never mind that. As I recall, that cost $5 and something. I'll give you 6. And when you get it, enter the exact amount in the ledger downstairs.
Thank you,
You
dear.
can't go on month after month of having the household accounts in such a mess.
No. And Claire, dear, I thought of a system that would make my bookkeeping perfect.
I'm certainly relieved to hear that. What is it?
Well, you never make half the fuss over how much money I spend as you do over my not being able to remember how I spent it.
That's true. Everything in this house must be run on a sound business basis. That's why I insist on keeping books.
That's exactly the point, Claire. If we would just open charge accounts everywhere, then the stores would do my bookkeeping for me.
Now, wait a minute.
When the bills come in, you know exactly where I spent your money.
I certainly would. Vinny, I get enough bills as it is.
And those bills always help, Claire. They show you exactly where I spent your money. Now, if we would just open a charge account everywhere.
Now, Vinny, I'm not so sure that would be such a
Oh, now, Claire, don't you just hate those arguments we have every month? I certainly do. I should think not to have those would mean something to you.
Well, I'll open an account at Lewis and Converse and one of the Greers to begin with. We'll see how it works out.
Thank you, Claire. Oh, Claire, the rector's coming to tea this afternoon.
Well, I'm glad you warned me. I'll go to the club. Don't expect me home till dinner.
Claire, I do wish you'd take more of an interest in the church.
Getting me into heaven is your job, Vinny. If there is anything wrong with my ticket when I get there, you can fix it up. Everyone loves you so much. I'm sure God must too.
I'll do my best, dear. It wouldn't be heaven without you.
If you're there, Vinny, I'll find some way to get in. Even if I have to climb the fence.
Mother,
Grant? You can't. I thought so. Huh. If you don't stop your blundering, listen to the video.
Hey, why aren't you clearing the table?
Today's not a business.
Nonsense, he's just reading his paper. Clear the
Last
table.
time, we paid you a good round sum to look after our interests, and all we get is inefficiency. I know you're a nincompoop, and I strongly suspect you of being a scalawag. It's graft, that's what it is. Family graft, and if you're not getting it, somebody else is.
Where's John? Do you know where John is?
Dick Crocker's running this town, and you're just his cat's paw.
Where's John?
He's upstairs, dear.
And as for you, Richard Crocker, don't think that just because you're hiding behind those minions you put in office, you're going to escape your legal responsibilities.
And you should have cleared the table long ago.
Legal responsibilities? By gad, sir! I mean criminal responsibilities!
Come on.
Don't forget what happened to William Marcy. And if you put our taxes up once more, we'll put you in jail!
What is it? What happened?
The maid fell downstairs.
Oh, I don't wonder with your father upsetting her so. Why couldn't she have finished with the table before she fell downstairs? Oh,
I don't think she hurt herself.
boys, finish with the table. Clarence, I need to speak to you before you leave the house this morning.
What do you suppose Mother wants to speak to you about?
Oh, probably about Edith Bailey.
Clint, what do you talk about when you have tea alone with the girl?
Well, don't really talk about anything. She says, isn't it a nice day? I say, yes. I think it's a little warmer than yesterday. She says, yes. I like warm weather. I say, yes. And we just sit there, wait for tea to come in. And then she says, well, number 2. And I say 2. She says, you must have a sweet tooth then. Well, I can't say yes. I can't say no. So we just sit there. After about half an hour, I say, I really must be going. And she says, must you? And I say, I've enjoyed seeing you again. And she says, you must come back. And I say, I will. And get out.
Some fellas like girls.
Well, I don't.
Have you ever noticed when a fellow gets cheating on a girl, the silly things the girls make them do? And they don't even seem to know they're acting silly.
Well, not yours truly.
I declare, I don't see how anyone could be so clumsy.
Did you hurt herself?
No, she's just hysterical, and she doesn't even make sense. Your father may have raised his voice at her, and if she doesn't know how to hold a platter properly, she deserved it. But I'm certain he never threatened to send her to jail. Clarence, I need for you to move your things into the front room. You'll need to sleep in the other boys' room for a night or 2.
You still haven't told us who's coming.
Cousin Cora, isn't that nice?
Well, it's not nice for me.
Wait till father finds out they're here. There'll be a rumpus.
John, don't criticize your father. He's very hospitable once he gets used to an idea.
Yes, it's cousin Cora. She's got someone with her.
Well, she wrote me she was bringing a friend. They're both staying here. Boys, finish with the room.
Mother, do I have to have tea with Edith Bailey and sleep with the other boys all in the same week?
Yes, you'd better hurry that suit of your father's to the tailor's right away. It'll be ready by next Thursday.
Cora! Cousin Minnie, how are you? Oh, this is Nurse Skinner. Ed Skinner's daughter. How do you do? Leave your bags in the hall and come right upstairs. Why, Clarence, it's so good to see you.
No, that's John.
My goodness, John, how you've grown. You'll be a man before your mother. Oh, John, this is Miss Skinner. You do. This is Mary's first trip to New York. Oh, Cousin Benny, I just have so much to tell you. Now, let's see. We wrote you Aunt Carrie broke her hip. Now, that was the night Robert Ingersoll lectured. Of course, Aunt Carrie couldn't make it, and it's a good thing she didn't. And
How do you do, Cousin Cora? It's good to see you.
my goodness, Miss Canton, Clarence.
Yes, it is.
Every time I see you two boys, you've grown another foot. Now, you'll be in St. Paul's now, won't you?
St. Paul's? I was through with St. Paul's long ago. I'm starting in Yale this fall.
Yale? Oh, why, Clarence, this is Mary Skinner. This is Mary's first trip to New York. Oh, and she was just so excited when she saw her first horse car.
Well, we'll have to show Mary around. I'll tell you what. We'll have Mr. Day take us to Delmonico's tonight for dinner.
Delmonico's! Oh, think of that, Mary. And Cousin Claire's such a wonderful host.
I'm sure you girls want to freshen up. Why don't you come right
I
upstairs?
just straight up.
The same little
Oh,
room.
yes, fine, by the way.
Clarence, the girls' bags are in the hall. Please bring them up. You can move your things out of the room a little later. Clarence only found out he was joking.
John, get through the bags.
Cousin Cora didn't tell me about you. I've never met a Yale before.
To worship him, give him thanks, put my full trust in him, to call upon him,
To honor.
to honor his holy name and his word, and to serve him till all the days of my life.
What then is thy duty towards thy neighbor?
My duty towards my neighbor is to love him as myself, and to do to all men as I would they should do unto me. To love, honor, and support my mother and father, and to obey
Civil authorities.
civil authorities.
He really knows it.
I know most of the others.
He's done very well for so young a boy. I'm sure if he applies himself between now and Sabbath like the here and again, with the others.
Mary, if you work really hard, then Dr. Lloyd can submit your name to Bishop Potter next Sunday. I'm afraid it's really my fault, Dr. Lloyd, that he doesn't know his catechism. Instead of hearing him this morning, I let him play baseball.
We won too, 35-27.
That's splendid, my child. I'm glad your side won. But winning over your catechism is a richer and fuller victory.
Never will.
Thank Dr. Lloyd for hearing you, dear, and yes, then you may run along.
Thank you, Dr. Lloyd.
Not at all, my little man.
Little Harlan is very apt at learning things by heart.
I can spell Constantinople. Wouldn't you hear me?
Constantinople.
Yes, sir. C-O-N-A, Connie, Anna, Connie, Sister, Connie, Cam, T, and a Nipple, and a Purple, and a Constantinople.
Very well done, my child.
Here, darling, this is what you get for saying it so well.
Oh, want me to say it again, please?
One cake is quite enough, dear. You run along and play with Whitney.
I think the huckleberry pie.
Run along, dear. Run along.
J. Huckle, J. Buckle, J. Huckle,
You and Mr. Day must be very proud of your children.
Yes, we are.
Thank you. I was hoping to find Mr. Day at home this afternoon.
Well, he's usually home by this time.
Perhaps he's going for a gallop in the park. It's a fine day. He's very fond of horseback riding, I believe.
Oh, yes.
Tell me, has Mr. Day ever been thrown by a horse?
Oh, no. No horse would ever throw Mr. Day.
I wondered. I thought he may have had an accident. I noticed he never kneels in church.
Oh, that's no accident. But I don't want you to think Mr. Day doesn't pray. Well, he does, and sometimes you can hear him pray all over the house. But he never kneels. Never.
Never kneels. Dear me. I was hoping to have a chance to tell you and Mr. Day about our plans for the new edifice.
Oh, Dr. Lloyd, I'm so glad we're going to have a new church.
I'm happy to announce we're ready to proceed. All that's left to do is raise the money.
And no one should hesitate about contributing to that.
Perhaps that's Mr. Day now.
Now, I hardly think so.
Oh, damn, I forgot.
Rebecca's here for tea.
I'll be right in.
I'll order some fresh tea.
Now we should tell Mr. Day about our plans for the new edifice.
After he's had his tea.
How are you, Dr. Lloyd?
It was father.
Very well,
Are
thank
you back yet?
No.
It's very nice to have a chance to visit with you, Mr. Day. Except for a brief glimpse on Sabbath, I hardly see anything of you at all.
Diehl, you have some fresh tea for Mr. Day. Claire, did you have a busy day at the office?
Damn busy. A very busy day. Tired out.
I've ordered some fresh tea. Poor Claire, he comes home from the office tired every day. However, how he can get so tired just sitting at his desk all day, I'll never know. Dr. Lloyd, I'll bet Wall Street is as much a mystery to you as it is to me.
Oh, no, no. It's all very clear to me. My mind often goes to the business. The picture I'm most fond of is when I envision him at the end of the day's work. There he sits, this hard-headed man of affairs, surrounded by the ledgers he's been studying closely and harshly for hours. I see him pausing in his toil. By chance, he looks up and sees the light in God's sky. And it comes over him that all these figures of profit and loss are without importance or consequence, vanity and dust. And I see this troubled man bow his head and with streaming eyes resolve to devote himself to far higher things.
Well, I'll be damned.
Claire, here's some fresh tea.
Who's this?
The new maid.
What became of the one we had this morning?
Never mind, Claire.
The one we had this morning was prettier. Vinny, these cakes are good.
Delicious.
Claire, dear, Dr. Lloyd is here to tell us about the plans for the new edifice.
You do what?
The new church. You know we're going to build a new church.
Of course, we're going to have to raise a large sum of money.
Well, personally, I'm against the church hop, skipping, and jumping all over town. It so happens that last year I suffered some pretty heavy losses in the market. Damn heavy losses.
But it hurts.
So any contribution I make will have to be a small one.
But for such a worthy cause.
And if your finance committee thinks it is too small a sum, they can blame the rascals who are running the New Haven Railroad.
Well, actually, the amount that each of us described has already been decided.
Who decided it?
After considerable thought, we've arrived at a formula that we believe is fair and equitable. It apportions the burden lightly on those least able to carry it, and more heavily on those whose shoulders we know are strong. Each shall contribute an amount equal to the cost of his pew.
I paid $5,000 for my pew.
Then that makes our contribution $5,000.
That's robbery. Do you know what that pew is worth today? $3,000. I've taken a dead loss of $2,000 on that pew already. Well, Frank Banks sold me that pew, but the market was at the peak. He knew when to get out. And I'm warning you now, Vinny, if the market ever goes up, I'm going to unload that pew.
Clarence, Day, how can you speak of the temple of the Lord as if it were something to be bought and sold on Wall Street?
Vinny, this is a matter of dollars and cents, and that's something you know nothing about.
You speaking of religion in terms of dollars and cents seems pretty close to blasphemy to me.
Now, Mrs. Day, your husband is a businessman, and he's taken a practical approach towards his property. We've had to be practical too. We have all the facts and figures.
Oh. Well, then how much is this new piece of property going to cost you?
I believe the figure I've heard mentioned is $85,000.
What is that, $185,000? How much is it worth where we are now?
Oh, well, there's quite a difference of opinion about that.
How much are you going to have to raise to build a new church?
I've seen those figures. Let me see. I know it depends somewhat on the terms of the mortgage.
Mortgage? What are the terms of the amortization?
Amortization? I'm afraid that's a term I'm not familiar with.
It all seems very vague and unsound to me. I wouldn't let any customer of mine invest on what I've heard.
Mr. Day, we've given this a great deal of thought. I don't see how you can call it vague.
Dr. Lloyd, you preach that someday we'll all have to answer to God.
Shall indeed.
But I hope that God doesn't ask you any questions with figures in them.
Well, Vinny, what a day we've been in ever
family reunion. I'll just run along.
Goodbye, Dr. Lloyd.
Mr. Cartwright, Mr.
Clarence, you haven't said how do you do to Dr. Lloyd.
Bye, Dr. Lloyd.
I'll walk you to the door, Dr. Lloyd.
Cora, this is certainly a pleasant surprise. Have some tea with us. Bring us some tea, some more of those cakes.
No, we were so tired shopping that we had our tea downtown.
At the Fifth Avenue Hotel.
Fifth Avenue Hotel. Who would you say this pretty little
Oh,
girl is?
why, this is Mary Skinner, Ed Skinner's daughter. Well, you finally met Mr. Day. I just told her ever so much about you, Cousin Claire. She's been dying to meet you.
Well, sit down, please. Sit down. Mary? Even if you girls have had tea, you can stop and chat a while. As a matter of fact, why don't we both stay to dinner?
Claire, that's already been arranged. The girls are going to have dinner with us tonight.
That's fine. That's fine.
I don't know how to thank you and Cousin Vinny for your hospitality.
Yes, Mr. Day.
Well, you'll have to take potluck.
No, I mean,
Claire, dear, did you know the girls are going to spend one whole month with Aunt Judith in Springfield?
A whole month? How long are you going to be in New York?
oh, why, are we?
Cora, dear, did you find anything you wanted at the shop?
Simply everything. I can't wait.
I can't wait to see what you got.
I can't show you some of these things in front of Cousin Claire.
Shall I leave the room?
Would you mind taking those packages up to our room, or should I say your room? Wasn't it wonderful of Clarence to give his room up to us for an entire week?
Cora, dear, I can't wait to see what's in those packages.
Billy, I wish to speak with you.
I'll be down in just a minute, Claire.
I wish to speak with you now.
I'll be up in a minute, Cora.
Are those two women encamped in this house?
Now, Claire.
Answer me, Vinny.
Just a minute.
Answer me!
Control yourself, Claire. Now, Claire, you've always been quite fond of Cousin Cora.
What has that to do with her planting herself down in this house and bringing hordes of strangers with her?
How can you call that sweet young little girl a horde of strangers?
Why don't they go to a hotel? New York is full of hotels for the express purposes of housing such nuisances.
Claire, two girls alone in New York in a hotel, who knows what might happen to them?
All right, then put them on the next train. Keep them rowing. If they want to roam, the damn gypsies, lend them a hand. Keep them rowing.
Claire, what do we have this lovely home for if it's not to lend a little hospitality?
I did not buy this home for hospitality. I bought it for my own comfort.
And how are they going to interfere with your comfort in that little room of Clarence's?
The trouble is, damn it, they don't live there. They live in the bathroom. Every time I want to take a bath, it's full of ignorant females washing their hair. From the time it takes, you think it was the 7 Sutherland sisters. Get them out of here. Send them to a hotel. I'll pay the bill, gladly, but get them out of here.
Father, I'm afraid they can hear you upstairs.
Then keep the doors closed.
Clarence, open the doors. Open them all the way. Now, Clara, you behave yourself. They're here, and there's nothing you can do about it.
That's enough, Vinny. I want no more of this argument. Damnation.
Mother, Cousin Cora's waiting for you.
What I don't understand is why this swarm of locusts always descends on us without warning. Damn. Vinny. Dear Vinny. Damn!
Father, can I go along with the rest of you to Delmonico's tonight?
What's that, Delmonico's?
Yes. You're taking Mother and Cousin Cora and Mary to Delmonico's for dinner.
Oh, no! I won't have it! I won't have it!
There is the door.
I won't stand for it. I won't stand for it. I won't submit myself.
Now, Claire, dear, what's the matter?
Am I to understand that I cannot have dinner in my own home?
Now, Claire, it'll do us good to get out of the house a little bit. And besides, it'll make you feel better.
I have a home to have dinner in. Anytime I can't have dinner in my own home, this house is for sale.
You can't have dinner here tonight. It is ordered.
I am ready to sell this house in 1 minute if we can't live here in peace. Then we can all go and sit under a palm tree and eat breadfruit and pickles.
Now, Claire. Cora and Mary want to see a little something of New York.
Oh, so that's it. Well, that is no affair of mine. I am not the guy to Chinatown and the Bowery.
Oh, Mr. Day, I just love your house. I could live here forever. What a Mr. Day.
Outside green is the best color.
That's right, I never thought of it that way. But when you do think about it, it's quite a thought. I bet you'll make your mark at Yale.
Oh,
My mother wants me to go to college. What do you think of girls going to college?
I think it's all right if they want to waste that much time before they get married.
Oh, hello. Look, an used companion.
John enjoys the youth's companion.
John,
Won't you sit down?
Oh, thank you.
As I was saying, I think it's all right for a girl to go to college if she goes to a girls' college.
Mother wants me to go to Ohio Wesleyan because it's Methodist. You see, we're Methodist.
Oh, that's too bad. I don't mean it's too bad that you're Methodist. Anybody's got a right to be anything they want. It's just failure.
Yes, I know. I've known ever since I saw your minister, Andrew Collins. Oh, I just remembered something. My father was an Episcopalian. He was baptized an Episcopalian. He was an Episcopalian right up to the time he married my mother. She was a Methodist.
I'll bet your father's a very nice man.
Oh, yes, he owns a livery stable.
He does? Then he must like horses.
Oh, I love horses.
Father and I both think that there's nothing like a horse.
Mr. Dan's having such a lovely time here.
and it's keeping you entertained, hmm?
Oh, yes, sir. We've been talking about everything. Colors and horses and religion.
Has the evening sun come yet?
No, sir.
What's that?
Used companion, sir.
Look what we've got.
What is it?
Tiddlywink. We bought a Lincoln and bought it.
That's a nice game. You know how to play it?
Sure, I've played it lots of times.
You know how to play it? I'll show you. Right along
You're
here.
going to Delmonico's with us, maybe?
I don't know. You're beginning to look as though I might.
It's very easy. You take this chip and you snap this little fellow into the glass like so. Alright.
This table isn't big enough.
John,
Yes, Father?
have you practiced your piano yet today?
No, Father. I was going to practice.
You better do it now.
Yes, Father.
Music is a delight in the home.
I will too. Claire, dear, you'll never guess what Cora just told me. She and Clyde are going to be married this fall.
So you finally landed him, huh? Being married, Cora, is the only way to live. He's a very lucky man.
Thank you. Well, if only we can be as happy as you and Cousin Vinny.
Boys, shouldn't you be playing down the table?
The table isn't big enough. Father told us to play on the floor.
Well, my soul and body, look at your hands, and your dinner's almost ready. Go wash up and come back and show Mother they're clean.
Yes, Mother.
Vinny, this young lady looks to be about the same age you were when I came up to Pleasantville to rescue you.
Rescue me! You came to Pleasantville to talk me into marrying.
It worked out just the same. I saved you from spending the rest of your life in that one-horse town.
Cora, I ran across a tintype the other day taken of Claire in Pleasantville. Let me show it to you, and you tell me who needed the rescue.
There's no time for that, Vinny. Hadn't we all better get dressed if we're going to Delmonico's for dinner? It's after 6 now.
Gracious, I'll have to start if I'm going to night in public with a prominent citizen like you, Cousin Claire. I'll have to look my best.
I'm already changed.
Oh, I know, dear, but I'm afraid I'll have to have you come along and pick me up.
Of course.
Won't take just one moment, and you can come right back.
Mr. Day, were you always an Episcopalian?
What?
Were you always an Episcopalian?
I've always gone to the Episcopal Church, yes.
But you weren't baptized a Methodist or anything, were you?
Come to think of it, I don't believe I was ever baptized at all.
Claire, that's serious. Don't joke about something like that.
I'm not joking, I remember now. I was never baptized.
That's ridiculous. Everyone's baptized.
Well, I haven't been.
Claire, no one would deny a little baby from being baptized.
You remember Father and Mother, free thinkers, both of them, and they decided that we should be left to make up our own minds about such things.
What Claire?
I remember I was about 10 years old, and my father said I should give it some thought. Well, I gave it some thought, but I never got around to having it actually been done to me.
Do you know what you're saying?
I'm saying saying I've never been baptized.
Then something has to be done about it right away.
Well, Vinny, don't get excited over nothing.
Nothing. I've never heard of anyone who wasn't baptized, even the savages in darkest Africa.
It's all right for savages and small children, but if an oversight was made on my behalf, it's too late to do anything about it now.
Claire, why haven't you ever told me?
What difference does it make?
Well, if you're not baptized, you're not a Christian.
Confounded, of course I'm a Christian. A damn good Christian, too.
You can't be if you're not baptized.
I will not be baptized, and I will be a Christian. I'll be a Christian in my own way.
Clarence, Dang, don't you want to meet us all in heaven?
Of course, I'm going to.
But you can't if you're not baptized.
That's a lot of folderol.
Clarence, Day, don't you blaspheme like that. You're going to march yourself right down to the church in the morning and be baptized right then and there.
Vinny, if you think for one moment I'm going to stand there and let some minister splash water on me at my age, you're mistaken.
But Claire!
That's enough, Vinny. I want no more of this argument. I'm hungry. I'm dressing for dinner.
Mother, if Father hasn't been baptized, he hasn't any name. And the side of the church, he hasn't any name.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Maybe we're not even married.
We can't play games on Sunday.
Oh, John, what are plans to Mary?
They dropped way behind.
Whitney, put your hat back on, please, and go to Sherry's and for ice cream. Tell Mr. Sherry strawberry if he has it, and take Harlan with you.
Yes, Lord. Oh, Vinny, we've had such a wonderful week. I hate to leave.
Oh, Cora, what must you think of Claire behaving so on his way out of church?
Cousin Claire probably thinks you the director of preaching that sermon.
Oh, I had to talk to Dr. Lloyd to find out if we were really married. But the idea of a sermon on baptism, that was his. But if Claire just hadn't yelled so, now the whole congregation knows he hasn't been baptized, Cora. But he's going to be. Cora, you mark my words, he's going to be baptized. Well, I just couldn't go to heaven without Claire. I get lonesome for him when I go to Indiana.
Vinny, the table isn't even set for dinner yet.
We're having a late dinner today.
Why can't I have my meals on time?
The girls' train leaves at 1:30, and their cab's coming for them at 1.
Cab, the horse cars go right past our door.
They have those heavy bags.
Clarence and John couldn't go with them to carry their bags. Why couldn't we have had an early dinner?
There wasn't time for an early dinner and church, too.
As far as I'm concerned, this would have been a very good day to miss church.
I wish we had.
I'll bet you put the rector up to preaching that sermon.
I have never been so mortified in my entire life. You stopping out of church the way you did, screaming at the top of your lungs.
That boy needn't preach at me as though I was some damn criminal. I wanted him to know it, and as far as I'm concerned, the whole congregation can know it too.
Well, they certainly know it now.
That suits me.
Claire, don't you understand what the church is for?
Vinny, if there is one thing the church should leave alone, it's a man's soul.
Don't you believe what it says in the Bible?
this, Neil. Mary told me. They don't get up and down so much. They stay down longer.
Is it because your father doesn't kneel? Well, Clarence, he was never brought up to kneel, but you were. And Clarence, you always have, and you want to, don't you?
Of course I want to. I started. You saw me start, but I just couldn't.
Well, is it that new suit of clothes of your father's? Is it too tight for you?
No, the suit fits fine. But it is the suit. Very peculiar things have started happening to me ever since I put it on.
What do you mean, Clarence? What do you mean?
I can't make these clothes do anything Father wouldn't do.
That's ridiculous. And to not kneel in church is a sacrilege.
But making Father's trousers kneel is more of a sacrilege.
Clarence!
No, remember the first time I wore this? It was to Dora Wakefield's party for Mary. We were playing musical chairs, and Dora Wakefield sat down right on my lap. I jumped up so fast she almost got hurt.
That was perfectly innocent.
It's not that she was sitting on my lap. She was sitting on Father's trousers.
My soul and body. Well, if you approach your father about a new suit, approach him tactfully, and I'm sure that you...
Excuse me.
Have you finished with your packing already? Ready?
Practically, I never put my comb and brush in until I'm ready to close my bag.
Well, I'll go down and check with Margaret about your box lunch for the train. I'll leave you two together. Clarence, remember, it's Sunday.
I was hoping we could have some time together before you left.
Cora had so much to do, I just wanted to get out of her way.
Didn't you want to see me?
Well, I did want to tell you how much I've enjoyed our friendship.
You're going to Brighton when you get to Springfield, aren't you?
Of course, if you write me first.
But you'll have something to write about. Your trip to see Aunt Judith, how things are in Springfield. You'll write me as soon as you get there.
Well, maybe I'll be too busy. Maybe I won't have time.
Well, you'll find the time. Let's not have any nonsense about that.
How do you know I'll take orders from you?
I'll show you. Give me your hand.
What should
Give me your hand, confound it.
I? What do you want with my hand?
I just wanted it. What are you thinking about?
I was just thinking.
About what?
Well, when we were talking about writing each other, I hoped that you'd write me first because that would mean you like me.
What does my writing first have to do with my liking you?
Well, you do like me.
Of course I like you. I like you more than any girl I've ever met.
But not enough to write me first?
I don't see what one thing has to do with the other.
You know, the first few days I was here, you'd do anything for me, and then you changed. You used to be a lot of fun, but then you did some old sober sides.
When did I?
Well, the first time I noticed it was after Dora Wakefield's party. My, your new dignity. You've been that way ever since. You even dressed like an old sober side. What's wrong?
I just remembered something.
What? Oh, I know. This is the last time we'll be together.
Mary, please.
But we'll see each other in another month. And we'll be writing. I hope we will. Oh, Clarence, please write me first. It'll show me how much you like me. I'll show you how much I like you.
Get up! Get up!
I don't think I'm just a bullet forward girl.
No.
Yes, you will. You'll think I'm bold.
No.
Is it because it's Sunday?
It would be the same any day.
Oh, you just didn't want me sitting there on your lap.
It was nice of you to do it.
It was nice of me. So you told me to get up? Well, you needn't write me any letters at all, because I'll tear them up without opening them. I guess I know now you don't like me. I never want to see you again.
Clarence, that young lady is crying. She's in tears. What's the meaning of this? It was all my fault. I'm sorry. Nonsense. What did she do to you? What?
you're being so grown up. Still, you're at an age where you can be meeting girls. Clarence, there are things about women that I think you ought to know. Better you learn this from me than to find it out yourself. Clarence, women are not the angels that you think they are. Well, no. Let me explain this to you. You see, Clarence, we men have to run this world, and it's not an easy job. It takes work, it takes thinking. A man has to know the facts and figures. He has to reason things out. Now, you take a woman. A woman thinks, no, I'm wrong right there. She doesn't think at all. She just gets stirred up. And she gets stirred up about the damnedest things. Now, I love my wife just as much as any man, but that's no reason I should stand for a lot of folderol. Damn it, I won't stand for it.
Stand for what?
That is the one thing I shall not submit myself to. Clarence, if a man thinks that something is the wrong thing to do, he shouldn't do it. Thinks it's the right thing, he should do it. But that has nothing to do with whether he loves his wife or not.
Who says it has?
They.
Who, sir?
Women. Then they get stirred up and they try to get you stirred up too, but don't you let it, Clarence. As long as you keep reason and logic in your argument, you can hold your own. But if they switch you, pretty soon the argument's about whether you love them or not. I swear, I don't know how they do it. Don't you let them, Clarence. Don't you let them.
I see what you mean so far. If you're not careful, love can make you do a lot of things that you don't want to do.
Exactly.
But if you know just how to handle women,
Then you'll be all right. The thing to remember is be firm. You know, sometimes I have to be firm with your mother. Just now about this month's household accounts.
but what can you do when they cry?
Well, that's quite a question. You just have to remind them that what you're doing is for their good.
I see.
Now, Clarence, you know all about women.
But, Father,
Yes, Clarence.
I thought you were going to tell me about
About what?
women.
Clarence, there are some things gentlemen don't discuss. I've told you all you need to know. The thing to remember is be firm. Yes, come in.
Excuse me.
Egad!
What is it? What's the matter, Claire?
I will not send this person a check.
Well, it's the first hat I bought since March, and it was reduced from $40.
I'm not questioning where you bought it or how much you paid for it, but the person from whom you bought it, this Mademoiselle Mimi, isn't fit to be in the hat business or any other.
I've never shopped there before, Claire, but it's a very nice place, and I don't see why you object to it.
I object to it because this confounded person does not put her name on their bills. Mimi what? Mimi O'Brien, Mimi Jones, Mimi Weinstein?
I don't know, it's just me.
It can't be just me. She must have some other name, confound it. I will not make out a check payable to Charlie or Jimmy, and I will not make out a check payable to me. Find out her last name, and I will pay the bill.
All right, Claire, all right.
That's not all, Vinny.
But Claire, Cora will be
Never
leaving
mind,
any
Cora.
moment. It isn't for
Never
her to
mind,
do.
Cora. Sit down, Vinny. Sit down. You know, I like to live well. I want my family to live well. But this house must be run on a sound business basis. I must know how much I'm spending and what for. Now, for instance, if you recall, a week ago, I gave you money to buy a new coffee pot.
Yes, because you broke the old one. You threw it right on the floor.
I'm not talking about that. I'm really endeavoring to
And it
find...
was so silly of you to break that coffee pot, Claire. There was nothing the matter with the coffee that morning. It was made just the same as always.
It was not. It was made in a damn barbaric manner.
And the little shop has stopped selling them. They can't get the imported one. They said the tariff wouldn't let them. And that's your fault, Claire, because you're always going to raise the
The
tariff.
tariff protects America against cheap foreign labor.
The
Not-
tariff doesn't.
taught me that a pack of idle-minded females pay $1 a week to listen to another female? Listen to me if you want to know anything about the events of the day.
But Claire, you get so excited. And besides, Miss Bullock says that our president, whom you're always belittling, prays to God every day for
Baby,
guidance.
what happened to that $6?
What, $6, Claire?
I gave you $6 to buy a coffee pot, and now I find you apparently bought one of Lewis and Converse and charged it. Here's their bill. One coffee pot, $5.
So that's $1 you owe me, and you can hand it right over.
I'll do nothing of the kind. What happened to that $6?
I don't know, Claire. Why didn't you ask me at the time?
No.
Oh, all right. I spent $4.50 on a new umbrella that I told you I needed. You said I didn't, but I did very much.
Now we are getting something. One umbrella, $4.50.
And that was the time that I paid Mrs. Tobin for 2 extra days washing,
Mrs. Tobin,
$2 more.
$2.
Let's see. That comes to $6.50. That's another 50 cents you owe me.
I owe you nothing of the kind. What you owe me is an explanation of where my money's gotten to.
Claire, I do my best to keep expenses down. And besides, Cousin Phoebe spends twice as much as we do.
Their cousin Phoebe. I don't want to be told her she throws her money around.
But Claire, you've always been so fond of Cousin
I
Phoebe.
am fond of cousin Phoebe, but I can do without hearing so much of her.
You talk of your relatives enough.
That's not fair, Vinny. When I talk about my relatives, I criticize them.
I can't even speak of Cousin Phoebe.
You can talk all you want, but I won't have cousin Phoebe or anyone else dictating to me how to run my house.
Dictating? I didn't say a word about her dictating.
You say...
Claire, she isn't that kind.
I swear I don't know what you said just now. You never stick to the point. I endeavor to show you how to run this house on a sound business basis. You end up gibbering and jabbering about everything under the sun. Now there's a little item of $32
Claire,
here.
I don't know what you expect of me. I tire myself out running up and down the stairs all day long, looking after your comfort, trying to raise our children. I do the marketing and the mending. Then if that isn't enough, you expect me to be a perfect bookkeeper too.
Vinny, I don't want to be unreasonable. Don't you know I'm doing this for your good? I suppose I'll just have to keep writing checks and hope I have enough money to meet them. It's all very discouraging.
I'll try to do better, Claire.
That's all I'm asking. I will go down and make the checks out and sign them. Oh, Vinny, perhaps I shouldn't make those checks out since in the sight of the Lord I haven't any name at all. Do you suppose the bank will feel the same way, or do you think they'll take a chance?
Claire, that's right. In order to make those checks good, you'll have to be baptized.
Vinny, the bank doesn't care whether I've been baptized or not.
I care, Claire, and I don't care what Dr. Lloyd says. I'm not sure we're really
Oh,
married.
damn it, Vinny, we have 4 children. If we're not married now, we never will be.
Don't you see how serious it is? You've got to do something about it.
Well, right now, I've got to do something about all these accounts that you have run up. I am going downstairs.
Not before you give me that $1.50.
$1.50.
The $1.50 you owe me.
I don't owe you $1.50. I gave you money to buy a coffee pot for me, and somehow it turned into an umbrella for you.
Clarence, Dave, what kind of a man are you? Stop your quibbling. How can you quibble over $1.50 when your immortal soul is in here?
All right, all right, all right.
Thank you, Claire. Now the accounts are in order.
You never did tell me. May I have the new suit of clothes?
No! I'm sorry, Clarence, but I have to be firm with you, too.
Say, John, come here a minute. What do you want? Do you have any money you can lend me?
Well, this week's allowance at $3.
Oh, that's no good. You got to have enough money to buy a new suit of clothes.
Why don't you earn some money? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy a bicycle. One of those new low kinds with both wheels the same size. You know, a safety.
How are you going to earn that much money?
I've got a job. Practically. Look, I found this ad in the newspaper. Wann, an energetic young man to handle household necessities that sells on site. Liberal commissions. Apply.
312 West 14th Street, Tuesday, May 12. Say, John, let me have that job.
Why should I give you my job? They're hard to get.
But I've got to have a new suit of clothes.
Maybe I can get the job for both of us. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll ask them.
Look, we'll have to get down there early Tuesday.
Oh, no, you don't. I'm going down there by myself.
But John...
But I'll put in a good word with the boss. I'll be right out.
Cora, Vinny, the cab's here. Hurry up!
We heard you, Claire. We'll be done in a minute.
John, hurry them along. What is the matter with those damn women? Those cabs cost money. Clarence, go see what's causing this infernal delay.
Here they come, Father.
Mr. Day, I can't tell you how much I appreciate your hospitality.
Not at all, not at all.
Well, Clarence, it was nice.
Cora, we can say goodbye to you on the sidewalk.
Claire, we have plenty of time. The train doesn't leave until 1:30.
Cabs cost money, and if they have any waiting to do, they should do it at Grand Central Depot. They got a waiting room there. It's just for that.
Mary, if there's one thing Mr. Day can't stand, that's to keep a cab waiting.
Would you know if you could hear the lunch?
All right, give them to me. Let's get started.
Where's John?
He's outside. Come on.
Are you going to shake hands with me, Mary?
I don't think I'd better. You may remember that when I get too close to you, you feel contaminated.
Mary, you're going to write me, aren't you?
Are you going to write me first?
No, Mary. There are times when a man must be firm.
Mary, Mother says you better hurry up before Father's got John. It's Sunday.
Bye, John. It's nice to meet your acquaintance.
Dear Mary. That's postman. I'll go.
Good morning, boys. Good morning, Father. John, not down yet? John! Come and get your breakfast!
John went out early. He had his breakfast early. He went out to see about something.
See about what?
Well, John and I thought we'd work this summer. Try and earn some money.
Splendid. Sit down, boys.
John and I saw an ad in the newspaper, and he went down to see about it.
Why didn't you go with him?
I was expecting an answer to a letter I wrote. And here's the mail, Father.
What sort of work is this you're planning to do?
Sort of salesman, the ad said.
Well, work never hurt anybody, but if you're gonna work hard. King Solomon had the right idea about work. Whatever thy hand findeth to do, Solomon said, do thy damnedest. How's your mother?
Please, sir, Mrs. Day wasn't feeling well. She isn't having any breakfast, so she went back upstairs to lie down again.
Now, why does your mother do that to me? She knows that whenever she doesn't come down to breakfast, she just spoils my whole day. Go upstairs and tell your mother I'll be up to see her before I leave for the office.
Yes, Father.
What's the matter with Mother?
There's nothing the matter with your mother. Perfectly healthy woman. Whenever she gets a little ache or a twinge, instead of being firm about it, she just gives into it. Boys, after breakfast, go upstairs, see what your mother wants you to do today, and Whitney, you take care of Harlan.
It's special delivery, sir.
Thank you.
Was that the postman again?
Yeah, it was a special delivery.
Yes? Where is it?
It was for Father.
Oh.
I don't understand this at all. Here's a letter from some woman I've never heard of.
Father.
Good grief!
What is it, Father?
This woman claims that she sat on my lap! What's that word here? No, this word down here.
It looks like curiosity.
I opened your letter only as a matter of curiosity.
Yes, go on.
This gets worse and worse. Just turns into a lot of sentimental lovey-dovey mush. I don't know why you should always be the butt. Someone's idea of a practical joke.
What's wrong?
Nothing's wrong. Some damn cool letter. How are you, Benny?
I don't feel well, dear. I thought you needed me, but if you don't, I'm going to go back up to
Well,
bed.
as long as you're here, come and have some breakfast with us. Sit down, Benny. Sit down. Sit down, boys. Get some food in you, Benny. Do you good.
I don't feel like eating anything, Claire.
It's all the more reason you should eat. Build up your strength. Here, what's this one's name? Nora's the bacon and eggs from the steak.
No, Claire. No, Nora, take them away. I don't even want to smell them.
Benny, it's just weak to give into an ailment like this. Any disease can be cured by firmness. What you need is strength of character.
I don't know why you object to my complaining a little. I notice when you have a headache, you yell and groan and swear enough.
Certainly, that's the proof to the headache that I'm stronger than it is. I can generally swear a headache right out of my system.
This isn't a headache, Claire. I think I have some kind of a germ. Besides, some of my friends have not been feeling well lately, and some of them have even had to call for the doctor.
Benny, this is all in your mind. You hear some of your friends getting this bug, you get scared, you think you have it too, so you take to your bed, you send for the doctor. The doctor. Oh, poppycock!
I didn't say anything about sending for the doctor, Claire.
I should hope not. Doctors think they know a damn lot, but they don't.
But Claire, when people are seriously ill, you have to do something.
Of course, you cheer them up. That's how you cure them.
And how would you go about cheering them up?
I'd tell them, what have I done now?
Claire, hush up! Oh, Harlan, stay away from Mother. I don't want you to get what she's got. Whitney,
Yes, Mother?
if you finish with your breakfast, I promised Mrs. Whitehead I'd send over Margaret's recipe for floating island pudding. Margaret has it written out. Take Harlan with you.
Yes, Mother. I hope you feel better.
I didn't mean to be unreasonable. I was just trying to help. When you take to your bed, I have a damn lonely time around here. So when I see you getting it into your head that you're sick, I want to do something about it. Now, Vinny, just because some of your friends have given in to this is no reason you should imagine you're sick.
Oh, Claire, just leave this house and go to your office!
I'm sorry you're not feeling well, Mother.
I'll be fine. Clarence, remember last fall I had something like this and I was fine the next morning.
Are you sure you don't want me to send for the doctor?
Oh no, I really don't need the doctor. And besides, the doctor just worries your father and I don't want to upset him.
Is there anything I can do for you?
Yes, have Margaret send up some tea. I'll try to drink that.
Will you be meeting John and me, or can we go out today?
I just want to be alone. You run along.
Oh, Nora, would you take up a cup of tea to Mrs. Day in her room?
Yes, sir.
Well, did you get it?
Yes, we both know it. Look, I've had it here with me.
What is it?
Medicine.
Medicine? You got a job to go out and sell medicine?
But it's good medicine. It's Bartlett's Beneficent Balm, available to mankind. It all cures.
A sovereign cure for colds, coughs, catarrh, asthma, quinsy, sore throat, poor digestion, summer complaint, colic, dyspepsia, heartburn, shortness of breath, lumbago, rheumatism, heart disease, giddiness, and woman's complaints. Nervous frustration, saying goodbye to Stan, Johns, and the grip. Proud flesh, pink eye, seasickness, and pimples.
See?
That sounds all right.
It's made from a secret formula only known to Dr. Barber.
He must be some doctor.
Sells for $1 a bottle, and we get 25% commission on every bottle.
Well, where does he want us to sell it?
He's giving us the territory of all Manhattan Island.
That's fooling. Anybody who's sick ought to need a bottle of this. I think we should start by calling them friends of father and mother.
I think that's a good idea. But wait a minute. Suppose they ask us if we use it at our own house.
I guess it would be better if we could say we did.
But we haven't had it here long enough.
Nora, is that the tea for Mrs. Day?
Yes.
You needn't bother. I'll take it up to her.
Thank you. Take it up while it's good and hot.
Mother wasn't feeling well this morning.
What's the matter with her?
I don't know. She was just complaining.
Well, it says here it's good for women to complain.
Has your father come yet?
Not yet.
Lord, hurry that upstairs, Nora. The doctor's waiting for it. And see if there's anything else you can do. I've got to go out.
Where have you go?
I have to go and get the minister.
There's a cab coming up the street.
Well, I hope it's him, Warman. But a cab doesn't sound like your father.
Yes, it's father. You got him all right. What took you so long?
Mom, I was at work. Went right down on the elevator and got father all the way back here in a cab.
I thought you were never coming.
Well, the horse wouldn't move very fast at first. The cabby whipped him and swore at him, and still he wouldn't yell. Then father spoke first. How's mother?
I don't know. Doctor's up there now.
Well, she better be good and sick, or father will be mad when he gets him all the way up here. Especially in a cab.
Oh, damnation. Well, seems like I ought to be shown a little consideration. I guess I've got feelings too.
Mother is pretty sick, isn't she?
How should I know? I wasn't allowed to stay in the same room with her.
Who put you out, the doctor?
No, it was your mother, damn it. Your boy's here today.
She is pretty sick, isn't she?
She must be, Whitney. I don't know. I can only guess. Nobody ever tells me anything in this house.
Mrs. Day is quieter now.
Well, Doctor, how is Mrs. Day? What's the matter with her?
Well, she's a very sick woman, Mr. Day. I had given her a sedative before you arrived, and after you left the room, I had to give her another one. Have you a telephone?
No, I don't believe in them. Why?
I just would save you a few steps. I'll be back in about 10 minutes.
Just a minute. I think I'm entitled to know what's the matter with my wife.
What did Mrs. Day have for breakfast this morning?
She didn't eat anything. Not a thing.
Sure.
I'm positive. I tried to make her eat something. She wouldn't.
I don't understand.
Understand what?
She's filed an attacks of nausea. It's almost as if she were poisoned.
Poison?
I'll try and get back in no less than 10 minutes.
Now see here! Damn doctors! I never know what's the matter with anybody. You better get your mother well and damn sooner. You'll hear from me.
Mother is going to get well, isn't she?
Of course she's going to get well.
I hope Mother gets well soon. I know you're stating that it's lonesome.
Yes, it's lonesome. What were you boys supposed to do today?
I was to study the rest of my classes.
Well, if that's what you were going to do, don't you think you better do it?
I know it, I think.
You better be sure.
To be sure, I need someone to hear me. Do you hear me, Father?
Yes, I'll hear you, Whitney.
If Mother's still sick, will you read to me tonight?
Of course I'll read to you.
Here it is. mother knows I can rest. Look, it's right here.
How many parts are there in a sacrament?
2. The outward visible sign and the inward spiritual grace.
What is the outward visible sign or form in baptism?
Water, where the person is baptized in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Ghost. You haven't been baptized, have you, Father?
What is the inward and spiritual grace?
You don't have to be baptized. Why do I have to be confirmed?
What is the inward and spiritual grace?
A death unto sin and a rebirth into righteousness. For being by nature born into sin and the children of wrath, we are hereby made the children of grace. Is that why you get mad so much, Father? Because you're a child of wrath?
Whitney, mind your manners. You're not supposed to ask questions of your elders. What is required of persons to be baptized?
Repentance. Whereby.
You don't know it well enough. Better look over it some more.
No.
No, you don't have to do it now. Let's see, what else can we do?
I was working with my tool chest in the background.
Better not do any hammering with your mother sick upstairs. You better stay here.
I wasn't hammering. I was carving wood.
All right. Well, what about you, Harlan? Shall we play a game of tiddlywinks?
I was helping with you.
Boys, don't do any shouting with your mother sick upstairs. Margaret? Margaret? Margaret! Why don't you answer when I call you? Margaret! Oh, there you are.
Oh, he's quiet, Mr. Day. Mrs. Day is very sick.
I know she's sick, that's why I wanted you. I want you to go upstairs and stand by her door in case she needs anything. What are you doing out of the house?
Oh, it's nothing, Minister.
Minister.
Yes, sir. He's outside now. I can't help it, Dad.
I was shocked to hear of Mrs. Day's illness. I hope I can be of some service. May I see her now?
She's resting now and can't be disturbed.
But I've been summoned.
The doctor will be back in a moment. We'll see what he has to say. You'd better come in and wait.
Thank you. Mrs. Day has been a tower of strength in the parish. Everyone liked her so much. She was a fine woman.
I wish you wouldn't speak of her as if she were dead.
Mr. Day is the doctor right yet.
No, why? Does she need him?
Well, she's kind of restless, sir. She's tossing and turning and talking in her sleep.
Doctor said he'd be right back.
The doctor's coming. I was watching for him out the window.
Thank you, Margaret.
Well, doctor, seems to me that was a pretty long 10
Now,
minutes.
see here, Mr. Day, if I'm to be responsible for Mrs. Day's health, I have to be able to handle this case as I see fit.
But you can't handle it out of the house.
I only left this house because... Mr. Day, this is Dr. Fleming. I felt Mrs. Day's case more than getting Dr. Fleming here as quickly as possible for a consultation. I hope that needs to be approved.
Of course, anything that can be done.
Upstairs, Doc.
She's in good hands now. Nothing more you or I can do at the moment with help.
There's something that's troubling my wife's mind, doctor. I think you know what I'm referring to.
You mean the fact that you've never been baptized?
I gather you knew that from your sermon last Sunday, but let's not get angry. I want you to do something about it. Of course. When those doctors get through up there, I want you to talk to Mrs. Day. I want you to tell her something. Now, she must not worry about something like this, and I want you to tell her that my being baptized is just a lot of damn nonsense.
Mr. Day!
No, she take your word on a thing like that, and we have to do everything we can to help her now.
Mr. Day, baptism is one of the sacraments of the church.
You're her minister, and you're supposed to bring her comfort and peace of mind.
The solution is so simple. All it requires is that you be baptized.
That's out of the question, and I'm surprised that a grown man like you would think of such a thing.
You were really concerned about Mrs. Day's...
Now see here!
Don't even think that...
Well, doctor, what have you decided?
Is there a room where we can have our consultation?
you doing here?
There's something I have to give to the doctor. I'll go back up as soon as I get it started.
All right. And Margaret, show these gentlemen downstairs to the billiard room.
Yes, sir. This way. Please, doctor. It's done.
Dr. Humphries, you know now, this isn't serious, is it?
We'll talk to you after you've had our consultation.
Now, surely you must...
Rest assured, Dr. Fleming, everything is humanly possible.
Well, you don't mean... This Fleming, I've heard his name often. He's, very well thought of, isn't he?
Fine physician.
If Vinnie is ill, and if anyone could help her, he could, don't you think?
She's in good hands. But there's a greater help, ever present in the hour of need. Let us go to him in prayer. Let us kneel and pray. Let us kneel and pray. O Lord, look down from heaven. Behold, visit and relieve this thy servant who is grieved with sickness, and extend unto her thy accustomed goodness. We know she has sinned against thee in thought, word, and deed. Have mercy on her, O Lord. Have mercy on this miserable sinner. Forgive her, O Lord.
She's not a miserable sinner, and you know it. She's a damn fine... God, you know Vinnie's not a miserable sinner. She's a damn fine woman. She shouldn't be made to suffer. It's got to stop, I tell you. It's got to stop. Have mercy, I say. Have mercy, damn it!
What's the matter?
Vinnie! What are you doing down here? You get right back upstairs.
I thought you needed me.
Vinnie, I know how much I need you. Get well, Vinnie. I'll be baptized. I promise I'll be baptized.
You will?
I'd do anything.
Oh, Claire.
We'll go to Europe together, just the two of us. You won't have to worry about the children or the household accounts. Vinnie!
She'll be fine now, Mr. Day. Bless you for what you've done.
What did I do?
You promised to be baptized.
I did?
You wanted to speak to me, Mom? Yes, Margaret. About tomorrow morning's breakfast, we must plan it very carefully.
Mr. Dad's been complaining to me about his breakfast lately. As a matter of fact, I've been blessing me lot.
No, it isn't that. It's just that I would like to plan something that would surprise him.
Surprising Mr. Day is the risk man. Me motto with him has always been the well enough alone.
Well, if we would plan something, Margaret, that he especially likes, what would you say to Kippers?
Well, I've served in Kippers before, but I don't recall him ever saying he liked them.
Well, he's never said he doesn't, has he?
They never got a stamp on the floor of them one way or the other.
Well, if Mr. Day doesn't say he doesn't like something, you can assume that he does. Let's give Kippers a try, Margaret.
Very well, Mom.
Margaret, you'd better plan enough breakfast for 2 extra people tomorrow.
Oh, so that's it. We're going to have company again.
Yes. I'm afraid my cousin Miss Cartwright and her friend are going to be arriving from Springfield just about in time for breakfast.
Well, in that case, I'd better make some Sunday morning hot biscuits, too.
Yes, we know Mr. Day likes those.
I've been getting pictures of those for the last 15 years. It's Mr. Clemens, Mom.
Here it is, Mother.
Oh, Clarence, they hadn't sold it. I am so relieved. Oh, Clarence, didn't you admire it?
Well, it is unusual.
Oh, Clarence, I saw it in the store the day before I got sick. I was walking through the bric-a-brac section, and there it was. It caught my eye. I almost bought it then. I just can't believe someone didn't walk by and see it and snatch it up. Oh, Clarence. Did you ever see anything so dark? It does need a ribbon, though. I've got just the thing somewhere. Yes, I know.
Has John come home yet?
I haven't seen him. Why?
Well, you know we've been working, and John went down to collect our money.
Well, that's nice. Guess who's coming to breakfast tomorrow? Cousin Cora Did you ever see anything so sweet?
What is it?
Well, it's a bulldog. Your father would never let me have a real one, but he can't object to one made of china. Oh, that ribbon needs pressing. I'm going to run this down to Margaret and have her do it right away.
What did you bring for more medicine for? Dr. Bartlett ate it, didn't he?
Yeah.
You had me worried there for a minute. When I went down to pick up the bulldog for Mother, I ordered the daisiest suit you ever saw. It only cost $15. Dr. Bartlett owed us $60. Isn't that lucky? Well, where's my money?
Clarence, Dr. Bartlett paid something medicine.
You let him pay us off that old beneficent balm?
Well, we thank this too for our services to mankind.
What about me? I belong to mankind. What about my suit?
You just have to wait for your suit.
I can't wait. I'm making the alterations. Got to pick it up this afternoon. $15.
Offer them $15 a minute.
Oh, they wouldn't take it. McCreary's don't sell medicine.
That's too bad. Uh-oh, here comes Father.
I'll have to brace it for that $15. I hate to do it, but I've got to. I've got to.
Well, I don't want to be here when you do. Besides, you better write this one first.
Good afternoon, sir.
How's your mother, Clarence? Where is she?
She's fine. She's downstairs with Margaret.
I'm home!
Mother will be well enough to go to church with us this Sunday.
That's fine. That's fine.
Have you noticed I haven't been kneeling in church lately?
Don't let your mother catch you at it.
That I've got to have a new suit of clothes.
Clarence, you're not making sense.
But a fellow doesn't feel right in cut-down clothes, especially your clothes. I can't make these things do anything you wouldn't do.
Well, that's a damn good thing. If my other folks make you behave yourself, I don't think you should ever wear anything else.
But Father, I've got to do things that I just wouldn't do at your age.
You should never do anything I would not do.
Yes, suppose I should want to kneel down in front of a girl.
Why in heaven's name would you want to do anything like that?
Well, I've got to get married sometime. I've got to propose to a girl sometime.
Before you are married, I hope that you are earning your own clothes. Don't get it into your head that I'm going to be supporting you in a wife too. Besides, at your age, Clarence,
I'm not planning on getting married right away, but for $15 I can have a good suit of clothes.
Clarence, you're beginning to talk as crazy as your mother. Oh, hello, Vinny! How are you?
I'm fine, dear. You don't need to hurry home from your office every day early like this.
Business the way it is, no point in going to the office at all.
But you haven't been to your club for weeks.
Can't stand the damn place.
You look better, Vinny. What did you do today?
Well, I took a long walk and called in on Mrs. Whitehead.
That's fine.
Oh, it's wonderful. You'll never guess who was there. Mr. Morley.
Morley.
He's the young minister that substituted for Dr. Lloyd one morning.
Oh, yes, I remember now. The right young fellow preached a good, sensible sermon.
That's the only time I ever saw you put $5 in the collection plate, Claire.
Ought to be more ministers like him. I could get along with that young man without any trouble at all.
This parish is in Audubon, you know, way up above Harlan.
Is that so?
Oh, it's wonderful, Claire. Nobody knows you up there. You'll be perfectly safe.
Say.
Yes, I've been over everything with Mr. Morley, and he's agreed to baptize you.
Oh, he has. The young whippersnapper. Damn nice of him.
And he says we can come up there any morning before you go to the office, Claire. We don't even have to have an appointment.
Then you're making a lot of plans for nothing. Who said I was going to be baptized at all?
Why, Claire, you did.
Now, Vinny.
Why, Claire, you gave me your promise, your sacred promise. You stood right here on this spot, and you said, Benny, I'll be baptized. I promise I'll be baptized.
Yes, I did.
Well, Claire, aren't you a man of your word?
Vinny, that was made under entirely different circumstances. We all thought you were dying, so naturally I said that to cheer you up.
Why, Claire, you gave me your sacred promise.
Vinny, you were sick when I said that, and now you're well again.
Is that all right, Mrs. Day? That's fine, Margaret. My being well again has nothing to do with it. You gave me your word. You gave the Lord your word, Claire. And if you could have seen how eager Mr. Morley was to bring you into the fold, and you're going to march yourself up to his church some morning, Claire, and be baptized right then and there. If you think for 1 minute,
What in
Misty, what it is. It's a bulldog. Now,
What's it doing in this house?
don't change the subject, Claire. We're talking about you. We're not talking about that. Now, don't change the subject.
How much did you pay for it?
I don't know. I said Clarence for it. Now, listen to me,
Clarence,
Claire.
how much did you pay for that?
I didn't pay for it. I charged it.
Charged it. I might have known. How much was it?
$15.
$15 for that eyesore?
Eyesore? Don't you call this lovely work of art an eyesore? This will look beautiful on a red pillow down by the fireplace in the parlor.
If that thing sits in the parlor, I won't. Furthermore, I don't want it in the same house with me. Take it away, Vinny.
Clarence Day, you are not leaving this room until you set a date for your baptism.
Vinny, I will tell you one thing. I will never be baptized as long as that hideous monstrosity is in this house.
All right. All right. This goes back this afternoon, and he's baptized in the morning.
But,
You heard your father, Clarence. He said he would be baptized if I sent this bulldog back. You take it right back to McCreary's and make sure they credit us for $15.
Mother, I was in McCreary's this morning. I happened to notice a new suit of clothes.
Oh, Clarence, I'm afraid your new suit of clothes is going to have to wait until after we get your father christened.
No, but I thought if I took the bulldog back and exchanged the bulldog for the suit, then...
The suit wouldn't cost your father a penny. That's very clever of you. You run that right back to McCreary's.
They're starting before they have noticed.
Oh, and Clarence, if we're going all the way up to Audubon, you stop by Ryerson's and Brown's and order a cab to be here at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Yeah?
Yes, this is a special occasion.
All right, a Victoria or a Rome?
Get one of their best cabs, Clarence. Get the kind they use at funerals.
Mother, those cost $2 an hour.
Well, if your father starts to argue, you just remember.
I remember we both heard him.
Oh, Clarence, I did have my heart set on this. However, if they haven't sold it in all this time, la 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 I hope you notice that Clarence is taking the bulldog back.
That's a sign you're getting your faculties back.
La 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 la.
Good to hear you singing again, Vinny. Oh, yes. On the way home, I stopped by Tiffany's and bought you a little something. I hope you like it.
Oh, Claire, what a lovely ring.
I'm glad it pleases you, Lavinia.
Oh, Claire, how can I ever thank you?
It's nice enough to see you up and about again, Vinny. When you take to your bed, this house is like a tomb. There's no excitement.
Oh, Claire, this is the loveliest ring you ever bought me. Now that you've bought me this, you needn't buy me any more rings.
Well, if you don't want any more.
Oh, what I'd like now is a nice diamond necklace.
Vinny, do you know how much a diamond necklace costs?
Oh, I know, Claire, but you buying me this ring shows me I mean a little something to you. Now, a diamond
Good
necklace.
grief. If you don't know how much I mean to you by now, we've been married 20 years and I've loved you every minute.
What did you say, Claire?
I said we've been married 20 years and I've loved you every minute. But if I have to buy out jewelry stores to prove it, if I haven't shown it in my words and actions, I might as well. What have I done now?
It's all right, Claire. I'm just happy.
Happy.
Yes, I'm happy. You told me you loved me. You bought me this beautiful diamond ring. That's something I never expected. Oh, Claire, I just love surprises.
That's another thing I've never understood about you, Vinny. Now, I like to know what to expect, and I'm prepared to meet it.
Oh, life would be dull, Claire, if you always knew what to expect.
Well, certainly never dull around here. In this house, you never know what's going to hit you tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Every daisy in the dell knows my secret, knows it well, but I dare not tell, sweet Marie.
Mother says she'll be right in.
Who are you? What's your name?
Margaret, sir.
Can't be Margaret. We've got one Margaret in the house.
And only call me Maggie, sir.
All right, Maggie. Boys, if her name's Margaret, that's a good thing. Maybe she'll stay a while. You know, she is about maids. Never could keep them for some reason. Well, I remember one day about 15 years ago. Yes, it was right after you were born, John. My, but you were a holy baby. I came downstairs after a hard day's work. I came home, and what did I find? No dinner. Because the cook had left. And I decided I'd had just about enough of that. So I went right down to the employment agency, and I said to the woman in charge, "Where do you keep the cooks?" Well, she tried to hold me up with a lot of red tape all but I just marched into the room where the ladies were, looked them over, saw Margaret, pointed at her, and said, "I'll take that one." And I walked her home with me. And she cooked dinner that night, and she's been cooking ever since. And a damn good cook she is, too.
Good morning, Claire. Good morning, boys.
Good morning, Mother. Good morning, Minnie. Thank you, John. Sit down, boys. Everyone is all dressed up today. What's on the program?
Well, May Lewis's mother is giving a party for May's dancing class, and Harlan is going to that.
I don't want to go, Mother.
Oh, Harlan, don't you want to go to a party where you'll get cake and ice cream?
They want to kiss me.
When you're a little older, you won't object to young ladies trying to kiss you. Really, Clarence?
That's one team.
Margaret, these kippers are good. I'm glad you remembered I like them.
Yes, yeah.
What got into her this morning? Hot biscuits, too.
She knows how well you like them, dear. Well, who could that be? It can't be the postman. He's already been here.
Clarence has been getting a good many special deliveries these days. Is that business deal coming through, Clarence?
It's for you today, which I put it.
That's me, I think. Put it in my room, please, Maggie.
No, bring it here, Maggie. Let me see it.
See, it's for me. Clarence State Jr.
Let me see it. It's from McCreary's, and it's marked charge. What is it?
Don't worry about it, Claire. It's nothing for you to worry about.
Well, at least I should know what's being charged to me. What is it?
Stop your fussing, Claire. It's a new suit of clothes for Clarence, but it isn't costing you a penny.
It's marked charge $15. It's costing me $15. And I told Clarence,
Just take my word for it. It isn't costing you a penny.
I'd like you to explain why it isn't.
Well, because Clarence took the bulldog back and got the suit of clothes instead.
So they'll charge me $15 for the suit.
Well, they can't you see? Clarence gave them the bulldog for the suit.
And they'll charge me $15 for the bulldog.
Well, they can't. We don't have the bulldog.
Just a minute, Minnie.
Clarence, I don't know what's wrong with you. It's perfectly clear to me you're supposed to be so good at figures.
My dear Minnie, they'll charge me for one thing or the other.
Don't you like them?
McCreary's isn't giving away suits. They're not giving away bulldogs. Can't you get it through your head that, oh...
What is it? What's wrong?
Don't answer the door!
Who is it? Who's coming?
Those damn women are back!
What women?
Cora, that little idiot. Now move in on us again, bag and baggage. Don't answer that!
Clarence, stay as if we could turn away our own relatives.
Tell them to get right back in that cab and drive right on to Ohio. They're extravagant enough to take a cab and the horse cars go right past their...
There. Behave yourself. They are here, and there's nothing we can do about it.
What the hell is descending us without warning, the damn gypsies?
Hurrah! Cousin Vinny, how are you? We've been so worried about you. Oh, and Whitney, and Harlan, oh, and Cousin Claire, and John. Here we are again. Where's Clarence? Yes, where is Clarence?
John, run up and tell Clarence that Cousin Cora and Mary are here.
Yes, Mother.
You arrived just in time to have breakfast.
At the depot, thank you.
No, we just finished our breakfast.
I haven't finished my breakfast.
Sit down, Claire. Margaret made us skippers this morning, and that's one of Claire's favorite foods. Why don't you join us at the table? Maggie, hide those things away. Claire, don't let your kippers get cold. Cora, I just can't wait to hear all about Springfield.
Well, we had a wonderful month. Do tell us about you, Vinny. You must have had a terrible time.
Well, I was quite ill, but I'm quite all right now.
Oh, well, what was it?
The doctors aren't quite sure. The specialist they called in said he's never seen anything like it before.
Well, you certainly look well enough now. Doesn't she, Cousin Claire?
Ah!
What is it, Claire? What's wrong?
John! been dog medicine.
But Father, it wasn't dog medicine.
Mrs. Sprague writes me that you sold her a bottle of this medicine and her little boy gave some of it to her dog and it killed him. Now she wants $10 for a new dog.
Well, he shouldn't have given it to a dog. Humans. Bartlett's beneficent balm. Made from a secret formula.
Have you been going around this town selling our friends and neighbors some damn Dr. William Patent Nostrum?
Well, it's good medicine, Father. I can prove my mother.
Vinny, what do you know about this?
Nothing, Claire.
No,
That's
I
what you
can't.
do.
That's enough! You are going downtown and get money for every bottle of that medicine. You are going to go to every house where you sold a bottle of that medicine and buy it all back.
What is $1 a bottle?
I don't care. I will pay for it. How much did you sell? How many bottles?
128.
128!
Claire, I always told you John was a good businessman.
John, I'm going to give you the money. $128, 10 more for Mrs. Sprague. $138, but it's coming out of your allowance. You'll get no money from me until every last cent of that is paid up.
I'll be 21 years old.
Claire, you've always encouraged the boys to earn their own money.
Be quiet, Vinny. I'll handle this.
Oh, well, of course Aunt Judith sent her love to all of you.
Oh, I haven't seen Aunt Judith for years. You would think with her just living in Springfield, maybe I can get her before the summer's over.
She'll be leaving for Pleasantville any day. That's why I must hurry back also. Grandpa Edwards has been failing very fast.
Hurry back. You can't even stay for a night or two?
And I'm afraid we're going to stay overnight. We're leaving on the 5 o'clock train this afternoon.
Oh, what a pity.
Cora, it certainly is good to see you again. Young lady, I think you've been enjoying yourself. You look prettier than ever.
I bet Clarence would think so.
I can't be another special delivery for Clarence. Seems to me that while you girls were in Springfield, our postman's been kept pretty busy. Sure you girls won't have any breakfast with us?
Oh, no. Claire?
No, thank you.
At least have some coffee. Vinny, why didn't you think to order some coffee for the
No,
girls?
no, Claire was fine.
It's the cab man.
Cab? What cab?
The cab that's going to take us to Audubon.
Who's going to Ottawa?
We are. Cora, the most wonderful thing has happened.
What?
Cousin Claire is going to be baptized this morning.
Vinny, what are you saying?
I'm saying you're going to be baptized this
I
morning.
will not be baptized this morning or any other morning.
Clarence Day, you promised me if I took that bulldog back that you'd be baptized.
I promised no such thing.
You certainly did.
I never said anything remotely like
You
that.
can ask Clarence. He was standing right here. Ask him.
Clarence be damned. I know what I said. I don't remember exactly, but it wasn't that.
I definitely remember. That's why I ordered a cab.
Cab? Vinny, you send that cab right back.
I certainly will not. I'm going to see that you get to heaven.
I can't get to heaven in a cab.
Well, you can start in a cab, Clarence Day. I don't know if they'll ever let you in or not, but I know they won't let you in if you're not baptized.
They can't keep me out of heaven on a technicality.
Claire's not your remedy. You may as well make your peace with God right now.
Until you stirred him up, I had no trouble with God.
Stay. Where do you suppose Clarence is?
You keep out of this. It hasn't been for you. No one would know whether I've been baptized or not. Oh, damnation.
Harlan, when you get your hats. John? Clarence?
Vinny, are you mad? Was it your idea that my own children be witness to this indignity?
They'll be proud of you, Claire.
I suppose Harlan is to be my godfather? I won't go through with this, and I can't. That's final.
Well, if you feel that way about it,
I do.
we won't take the children with us.
John. There's no time for that. I've got to take John downtown and give him the money he needs to buy back that medicine. I think of you going around this town selling dog medicine.
But it wasn't dog medicine.
That's enough. We won't discuss it. You are going downtown this minute.
You'll do no such thing. You gave me your promise that day I almost died.
Yes, and she would have died for it during some of that medicine. Every
You realize you might have killed your mother? You did kill Mrs. Sprague's dog! John, you've done a very serious thing. Going to have to give considerable thought on how I'm going to punish you.
But,
No, Vinny! I think of that day with this house full of doctors. Cora, we even sent for the minister. Vinny, we almost lost you. It's all right now, thank God. You're well again. But what I went through that afternoon, the things I felt, I'll never forget it.
don't talk that way, Claire. You've forgotten it already.
What do you mean?
The day you gave me your sacred promise.
I wouldn't have given you that promise if you weren't dying, and you wouldn't have died if John hadn't given you that medicine. Don't you see the whole thing's illegal?
Suppose I had died, Claire. It doesn't matter to you. You don't care if you meet me in heaven. You don't care if you ever see me and the children again.
You're not being fair to me, Vinny.
It doesn't matter, Claire. It's all right. If you don't love us enough, there's nothing we can do about it.
That has nothing to do with it, and you know it. I love my family as much as any man. There's nothing in the world within reason I wouldn't do for you. Here's that word. The sacrifices I've made just to prove... Vinny, you're not well enough to go all the way up to Audubon.
I am if we ride.
Cabs cost money. These cabs cost $1 an hour.
That's one of their very best cabs. It costs $2 an hour.
Then why aren't you ready? Get your hats. Damnation.
Let's watch them start. Come on, girls, watch them start.
I wouldn't have it.
Mother, I didn't mean I want to kill you.
Oh, John, don't worry about what your father said. It turned out fine. It turned out just